All right, we are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. How is everybody doing out there tonight? Sorry about the late start. Just happens sometimes whenever you got some stuff going on. Also, the phone lines are open. Just thought I would throw that out there. We got some topics. We'll probably be here for about an hour, just depending on how that looks. Also, the phone lines are open. If you want to call, go ahead and get your call in now. That's just kind of what we're doing here tonight. Little bit of a free for all tonight. We're just going to be talking some simple stuff and keeping it moving and a grooving. Also, Thursday night football on. Got that rolling. So there's that. Just looking at some other stuff here. But yeah, let's get into it. First topic du jour is on the Bobby Petrino thing. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor of Arkansas, comes out and says Bobby Petrino has demonstrated a track record of winning at Arkansas, and we hope he can bring the team together and lead them to the finish and finish the season strong. We will be cheering for Bobby and our Razorbacks on. I really don't know what you want her to do there. That's like a trick bag per se for the most part. I don't think you can really do much with that comment, to be honest. It's just one of those, like, what do you want the governor to say about a estranged coach? That's just kind of my thoughts on it. But I don't know how you expect her to maneuver out of that or sidestep that question, because Arkansas being like the biggest university in the state and all that stuff like that. So there is that. I look at that and I think okie dokie. Just resharing some stuff here. And there's that. Getting that all boosted up. But yeah, for the most part, I don't know what they expect on that. That's kind of a crapshoot, to be honest, when it comes down to it. Go Dogs. Appreciate you. Also live on TikTok. Also, the phone lines are open, but you got to come over to YouTube to get the phone number. That is how it works. And if you have a block number, we are not answering it. The Cubs move on. So there's that. Just very, very interesting stuff going on out there. Nothing really too pressing, but we'll get to this. LSU, the last 3 times that the national championship, the Sugar Bowl, has been held in New Orleans. 2003, Saban won it. 2007, Les Miles. And then Coach O, baby. Missouri beats Alabama and Auburn. They will run the table. I would think they should. They should run the table if they beat Alabama and Auburn. But yeah, that's the last time the national championship was in New Orleans. Ed Orgeron, Les Miles, and Nick Saban won it. What are you going to do? Sports are rigged. That sounds like a sore loser. But I don't know. There's a lot of pressure mounting on Brian Kelly, to be honest. I I don't know how they're going to navigate it going forward. I don't think it's going to be as rainbows, butterflies, and My Little Ponies going forward for Brian Kelly. I think that it's one of those foregone conclusions. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know if he is going to. I hate to be that guy, but I also think that he could possibly. How do I want to put this? Do I think he'll take another job before he gets fired? No, because there's too much money involved. That's what I think it comes down to. I think there's way too much money involved in the Brian Kelly saga at LSU for him to move on, for them to move on. Realistically, LSU signed a bad contract with Brian Kelly. That's just my opinion. Some people can disagree with that. But I don't necessarily think they signed a great contract. Just go read it. If you go read it, it'll tell you everything you need to know about it. I think the buyout this year is $60 million. So that's what it comes down to, with it being $60 million. I don't know. I don't know where else you're going to get it. Unless LSU thinks that they're going to. Unless LSU thinks they're going to get ready for work. All right. Unless LSU thinks that they're going to be able to get a sweetheart deal and steer and navigate out of it, but I doubt it. I don't foresee that happening. I don't think Brian Kelly's going to let up the clutches on that at all. There's no point. In his realm, there's just nothing. And it would be smart of him to do that. But, you know, he's got Nussmeier and everything that rolls around with it. I think Garrett Nussmeier is somebody that could transition to being a good NFL quarterback, but I think that at a certain extent, there's something that just needs to. I think it just needs to get. It needs to get resolved eventually. They have a lot of issues there down at the down on the bayou, but most likely to get upset this weekend. We'll transition into that. Florida State, Miami, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Vandy, Mississippi State, A&M. Now, when I'm looking at this, I look at it as what do either of these teams bring to the table that Boomer Sooner that I think that the bigger issue is I think that I think Mississippi State can definitely go in there and win something. But it's going to be tough on A&M. I think Mississippi State is going to frustrate A&M because they're going to be able to hit explosives. That's what I think is going to be one of the bigger issues, is that they can hit explosives plays, and it'll definitely ignite the offense for the most part. That's just something, in my opinion. Some people may not agree with that, but I just don't see how it's going to help everybody in that realm. That's just the way I look at it. I think that Marcel Reed is kind of limited, so that's kind of why I like Mississippi State in this matchup. If Mississippi State can just play defense, they can score with anybody, and it'll be tough on A&M, even though it's at A&M. But I think Mississippi State is definitely going to beat somebody they shouldn't this year. And that's the same thing that goes with Florida and Texas. If people think that Texas is going to come in here and boat race Florida, Florida's really good defensively, and I don't think people realize that. Oh, we're getting to Vandy, Bama. We're getting there. And plus Texas going on the road, 3:30. I think Texas will bring a bunch of people, but we'll see what that looks like. If Lagway can play some type of offense, they should be all right. I think they can win that game. That's a winnable game. I would not be shocked if Texas missed the college football playoff. Would not be shocked at all. Because we'll look at the schedule really quick. Let's just say Texas drops a game to Florida, and that puts them at 2 losses. They have Oklahoma next week. They have Georgia and Texas A&M. If Florida wins this game, Texas may miss the playoffs with 3 losses. So there is that. That has been said. I know some people were not going to like that, but Texas has just as much chance to miss the playoffs as Alabama. Everybody wants to count out Alabama. Well, Texas can miss the playoffs too. It's just about how much can you withstand if you are if you're looking at this. That's just something that I'm looking at. I don't know what most of this is going to be, but that's the way I look at it, because if Texas drops this game, it's over. They got 2 losses. They're either going to lose to A&M or they got to win out. They're in the Notre Dame position. They have to win out. That's just what it is. They have to win out. So there is that. Alabama Vandy. Now, I will say this. If it's the Alabama team that showed up at Florida State, they're going to lose. If it's the Alabama team that showed up in Athens, they're going to win. But I think the keeping Vanderbilt as this like underdog story, they're ranked number 16 in the country. And if Alabama can go into Tuscaloosa and win, Diego Pavia might win the Heisman. and they might make the playoff. That's a for real, because Vandy would be what 5 or 6-0. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'm just reading now. Pete Nakos tweeted, Gio Lopez questionable against Clemson. Yeah, I probably would be too. Bobby Petrino. So here's a fun little thing Nakos just tweeted. Bobby Petrino adding veteran NFL assistant Jay Hayes as Arkansas's defensive line coach. Sources tell On 3. Haynes was with the Bengals for the longest. He coached some top D lines, including Geno Atkins, Carlos Dunlap. Hayes also coached at Notre Dame and Wisconsin. Yeah. Well, yeah, Arkansas's god awful on offense. So why wouldn't they not add? I didn't expect the FSU effort output from Bama again. Not a ranked game at home. I wouldn't expect it either, but you have that small 1% chance that it could happen. So there's that. I think if Alabama packs their lunch, they should be all right. But if Alabama comes out flat, it might be toast. I'm just saying it ain't gonna be good, I don't think. That's just kind of where I'm at on it. I think that at a certain point, that's kind of what it is. Now, when we go over to Florida State, Miami, I think the team that is on least amount of upset alert, but could also be on the highest amount of upset alert is Miami. Just for the simple fact of it comes down to you have Mario making those decisions on game day, which I don't think help you. Gus Bus has been around for a while. Thanks for the interactions. Yeah, no problem. I think Gus Bus has been around for a while, and that in itself, I think, makes it tougher. So there's that, and I don't necessarily think. I think Miami is really good on defense, so I think that's working with them. So I am less likely to think that Miami comes out flat. Tired. All right, got that figured out. So yeah, there's that. So we'll see what Norvell and the folks got going for him. I'm not super shocked that they would put Miami on there just for Mario's deal, his issues with game day. Here's a fun fact. If Rutgers last Friday, Rutgers played Iowa on Friday night it was Kirk Ferentz versus Greg Schiano. If Rutgers and not Syracuse, but if Rutgers and Iowa played again 25 years ago, the same two coaches would be the head coaches. That's just kind of what that is. I thought that was interesting. Got a little Rams little Niner action going on right now. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I think that. Ooh, wow! They just picked up a third or a fourth down. Kyle Shanahan going for broke here. Oh wow! Flea flicker reverse pass to a screen to CMC. Ooh wee. Yeah, we got it going on here in San Francisco. Or not San Francisco, they're in LA. I forgot they're in LA. But yeah, it was a reverse flea flicker screen and they had guys blocking. Yeah, that's a horse collar, grabbed him inside the pad. That'll get turned in. The one thing I will say is Shanahan can run the hell out of the ball. That is kind of where that is at. But yeah, we appreciate all you folks watching out there on the old Twitter sphere and on YouTube. Appreciate everybody. Also, the phone lines are open. If you want to call, give us a call. The number to call is 260-255-4069. In full disclosure, if you call me with a unknown number, we're not doing it. And that is, they're calling that. Oh, he was out of bounds. But yes, that is the number to call if you want to call, talk some college ball. I think tomorrow we're actually going to start on time. And we'll be rolling at 7. Yeah, he was out of bounds. We'll be rolling at 7. There's Friday games on. Sam Houston and New Mexico State are about to kick off here soon. Here's just something that's funny to me. Here is the college football, the SEC power rankings for quarterbacks. That at the beginning of the year, DJ Lagway was there, Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Gunnar Stockton, Lenora Sellers. These guys that they have 1 through, I guess you could probably throw Mateer on there, but a lot of the guys that they had, 1 through 7 were the bottom half. They had Jackson Arnold ranked ahead of all these guys. Nobody even knew who Trinidad Chambliss was, and that kid is a ball playing Jesse from Ferris State. Diego Pavia leading the way. Ty Simpson, nobody thought Ty Simpson was going to do anything. There was kind of, well, when are we going to see the Russell kid, the 5-star? Well, I don't know. Judging by that performance that Ty Simpson just put on at Georgia, I don't think you're going to see him all year. John Mateer's hurt right now, so you can't really say much. Joey Aguilar has came and balled out. They kept on saying the kid from App State, the UCLA transfer, he can't do anything. Well, Tennessee's what, 5-1 right now? Tennessee's they're a fringe playoff team. I think Tennessee's looked apparently better than anything that what Texas has put on tape this year. Granted, Texas did play Ohio State, but I think Joey Aguilar at least can throw the ball down the field. I don't know what the hell they're doing down there in Austin. That's just my opinion. Jackson Arnold, it ain't looking good at Auburn. I think he might be getting Hugh Freeze fired. Or Hugh Freeze is going to go focus on his health, one or the other. Kentucky, yeah, it's tough to be a Kentucky football fan. Mark Stoops, I'm pretty sure they hate him, but the old Stoops ain't going anywhere. I think Blake Shapen's looked better than Lenora Sellers for majority of the year. Mississippi State hasn't looked bad. A lot of people are dogging Mississippi State. I got a guy in the old TikTok chat that says it's tough. I'm sure it is. But Garrett Nussmeier, I think, is hurt. He hasn't looked great. LSU's 2 losses away from this whole thing being over. It's over. That's what it'll be. I get it. I have some friends that are LSU people. They love Garrett Nussmeier. Love Nuss. Love Nuss. Love Nuss. Well, they're staring not going to the playoffs in the face. Who got a better duo, Notre Dame or Penn State? That's a good question. I like all four running backs in that. Jeremiah Love that finally got going against Arkansas, but I mean Arkansas looked like they were playing on skates. To be honest, Singleton. I think Penn State they got good backs. Jaywan Sider, that's now at Notre Dame, good running back coach. Oh wow. Don't let the Niners go up 14-0 on the Rams. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Taylon Green looks like a hell of an athlete, but Arkansas ain't good on defense, so they ain't going to win many games. I don't know. It may look better now that Petrino takes over, and the one thing about the Bobby Petrino stuff is that he's got 8 games. If he goes 5-3 in the last 8 games, he's keeping the job. If he goes 4-4, he's probably keeping the job because that would make him bowl eligible. If Bobby Petrino gets him to a bowl, he's probably going to keep the job. I know Arkansas fans are not going to like that, but I think that is a stark reality of what this is. I really do. I really do think Bobby Petrino gets them bowl eligible. They keep him. Also, the number to call, phone line is open. The number again, 260-255-4069. If you want to call, get your call in. Heisman odds. Not shocked by this. Dante Moore, Carson Beck, Mendoza, Ty Simpson. And it's funny because, there's a Niner touchdown. But it's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me that how Ty Simpson has jumped into the Heisman. He is the Heisman darling. Trinidad Chambliss now has better odds to win the Heisman than Gunnar Stockton, Arch Manning, Lenoris Sellers. It's hilarious. You know, Trinidad had a big win against LSU. Look at just Mac Jones cooking in this offense. Julian Sand plus 1,700. I guess, of course, the Ohio State quarterback is going to be in the running for the Heisman just because they're going to have a really good team and they're going to be undefeated. A lot of people counted out the Niners tonight. San Francisco on top 14-0. What a hell of a game so far. So what do we got? What else do we got rolling tonight? Joey Aguilar, Marcel Reed, Diego Pavia. I'm just telling you, if Diego Pavia goes to Tuscaloosa and wins, which I know all the Alabama fans are not liking that, but I would like to know a quarterback in the last 4 years or the last 2 years that's beat Auburn, Alabama, there and at home. It would be what? The state of Alabama sweep. The last 5 times Diego Pavia's played in Alabama University, he's beat him. Because he beat Hugh Freeze when he was at New Mexico State. And then he beats Alabama. And he would beat Alabama again. And he's got Auburn. So that would make him, 5-0 versus the state of Alabama? Not good. I know DeBoer should have this. I'm sure he had this game circled with a red X on it because of last year. I just look at it and I think that I'm not saying how do you drop that, but I'm just saying that it's not good. And also, if Trinidad Chambliss and Diego Pavia keep winning, you possibly could have 2 guys overlooked, under-recruited, no stars, win Heisman or be the top 2 guys voted to New York. Because realistically, if I stopped it right now, you would probably get Dante Moore, Carson Beck, Diego Pavia, Trinidad Chambliss in there. And you got to remember, Trinidad's numbers aren't going to be as good because he didn't play the first 2 games. Austin Simmons did, which I think if they don't play Austin Simmons, he'll probably hit the transfer portal from stuff that I've seen other people say. T-Money, Miami FSU, rolling with the Canes, dog. That's Miami's mean up front. They're mean, nasty, big. That's what it is. Also, for all you folks watching over there on Twitter, come on over to YouTube and help us grow this thing. That's kind of what it is. And also, Saturday, what was that? Saturday watch party. Not good. Watch party is going to be Alabama Vanderbilt, Alabama Vandy. And then we're gonna do the night game on ABC, which is going to be Miami, Florida State. Let's go Canes. I don't know what the Canes do. Is it Canes up, Fins up, whatever they do in South Beach? Where that's what we're doing this weekend. Matthew Stafford coming out, staring at a 14-0 lead here. That's not good, Matthew. Not good at all. What does Sean McVay having? I mean, he does get little broed by Kyle Shanahan a lot, so there is that. So here's the college football Joe Klatt's CFP prediction bracket. Robert Saleh probably still punching air because Liam Cohen was getting at him a little bit. Who knows? Alabama 8 taking on number 9 Penn State, Texas Tech in there. South Florida, I think the group of 5 representatives is going to be Tulane. That's just my opinion. Notre Dame at Ole Miss. Notre Dame's got to make sure they got to win out before Notre Dame can even talk about the playoffs. I know my Notre Dame fans are going to be really, really upset that I said that. Well, you don't think they can win out? I'm just telling you, I don't like the road game at the end of the year against Boston College. Notre Dame loses one more game, it's over. It's done. Flip them over on this side. It's over. They are done like dinner, I tell you. And then Georgia taking on A&M, although that would be an epic game. And then the buys are Texas, which I don't get. That's just Joe Klatt. Whatever. You guys can, you know what? All you guys is Texas gonna if I could speak, is Kentucky gonna upset Georgia this week? I think it could be close. It's gonna be a sleepy noon game, but I doubt it. I don't think Kentucky's got the offensive firepower this year to hang with Georgia. But I'm not going down on the Texas ship. I'm not doing it. I'm out on Texas. I'm more in on A&M than I am Texas. Just my opinion. That is just my opinion. I think about it last year, the offenses were way worse and almost pulled it off. Yeah, that makes sense. That is it. That is a good point. But also, I think Gunnar Stockton is Notre Dame is winning it all. Notre Dame better learn how to tackle because Arkansas got loose. If Arkansas had a defense, that game's way different. Let's go to the roster breakdown here. This is an age breakdown. Auburn with 40% freshmen, Georgia 46%, Texas with 40%, A&M 35%. These are just Arkansas get loose. But yeah, hold on. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. But yeah, these are a roster breakdown of everything. that's going on. That's just kind of what it is. Juniors, seniors, graduates. I think I'll hang on to that and we'll go over that at a different date. But speaking of rosters, here comes the rivals industry commitments. 5-star commitments per conference. So the SEC, go Big Orange. Yeah. Tennessee. All right. Also, this will be very bad if the Rams do not score any points here. That's a problem. No, got a couple of guys with 7 on or the Guardian caps, that are made for. It's not 7-on-7, but it's made for football practice without pads. That was a hell of a run, though. Who was that? Corum? Yeah, that was a hell of a run by Blake Corum. But Notre Dame has 2 5-star commitments, just as many as the whole ACC conference. If Notre Dame was to sign 5 5-star guys, that would be as much as the Big 12 and ACC put together. Big 10 with 10, SEC with 15. I think that's proximity biased at the moment, but that's just kind of what it is. And then we'll get out of here a little bit early tonight. Oh no, the Rams turn it over. The Rams turn it over. Wow. Blake Corum, what are you doing? That is going to be tough sledding for the looking at the jumbo. What do you need to look at the Jumbotron for? You dropped it, dog. Doink, right in the hands. That's no good. That's no good. I hate to say it, it's no good. Last graphic before we jettison into the night and let everybody start watching Thursday night football. Here are the TV ratings. I don't know what to believe because I think these numbers are not inflated, but I don't know what's realistic and what's not, because other outlets on the internet will have said this game did a 12-2. Well, On3's got it at 10-4. Is it better? Also, if you are CBS, NBC, you guys are failing miserably, because your 3:30 game almost got beat by a Friday night college football game. And a Friday night college football game beats your big noon kickoff. In the second tier game at the third spot still did 247 on the rating scale. Colorado played late and did decent numbers. Wake Forest and Georgia Tech did pretty decent there. But that's big noon kickoff. USC, Illinois, number 7. Big noon kickoff at number 7. You got beat by Notre Dame, Arkansas at noon. See, this is what ABC is going to do now that they realize, and they're going to start beating you consistently because they have better viewership on their games. By just barely 2 million people, which is a pretty significant gap, a 3:30 game almost beat a night game on NBC. And then you get ultimately crushed by the ABC night game by the same amount of margin. 1 million more people were more interested in Ohio or in LSU, Ole Miss than they were Washington, Ohio State. So there is that. We are rolling on a good little 40-minute tick here, but appreciate everybody who's tuned in. But there's that. yeah, so I think that's kind of where we're gonna leave it for tonight. Sorry for the late start, cutting it about 20 minutes. We're gonna roll about 20 minutes short. We got Thursday night football. We got a college football game coming on tomorrow. Hopefully, to get started on time, we'll get a little bit more viewership in here. Not the ideal start off that we wanted, but it happens. So there is that. Appreciate everybody watching on TikTok. Appreciate everybody watching on Twitter, YouTube. If you want to do us the biggest favor in the world, hit that like and subscribe button. That helps us more than anything. Hitting that like and subscribe helps us a ton. It's better than money. So I know we get the question all the time. Well, when can you? We want to send super chats. Well, we can't get super chats until you hit that like and subscribe, everybody. So do your part, and that's kind of what it is. Tomorrow, the phone lines will be open all show long. I will put the graphic up that says phone line open. So if you want to call, get your call in. M. Bell, Joey Aguilar, number one quarterback in the SEC. I don't think he's the number one quarterback, but I think he's better than most. He's looked way a hell of a lot better than DJ Lagway. I know that much. But there's that. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we will catch you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock is the plan. We will see you tomorrow.